Hello, my name is Joan Stensler. It is my pleasure and delight to be having a conversation today with a very wonderful, wise, and inspiring woman, Ayanna Pettaway. We'll be speaking with her in a second. I'd like to introduce myself so that you know who I am. My name is Joan Stensler. As I said before, I'm a communication specialist and empowerment coach and founder of Your Amazing Journey, an online consulting practice and holistic learning community. We offer rich content classes, workshops, and retreats to individuals and organizations. Our focus is on teaching our clients ways to communicate more effectively and clearly in order to build strong, healthy relationships and make remarkable positive changes in their lives and organizations. As I said before, I am here today for a conversation with a wise and inspiring woman, Ayanna Pettaway. Ayanna, it's so nice to speak with you today.
Hey, Joan, nice to see you and talk to you.
Thank you. Let's begin. If you would like to, I'd like to ask you if you could tell me a little bit about yourself and how you first learned about the Women's Empowerment Incubator.
So, I'm a social worker and I am a mom of a 3-year-old little girl. And I heard about the incubator through Joan. I attended one of Joan's yoga classes, which was pretty cool. And I am at a point in my life where things are kind of shifting in terms of career and I needed some kind of a support or inspiration to kind of navigate this new world of a a career change and entrepreneurship on top of being a mom. So when Joan told me about the group, I was a little hesitant at first because I didn't really take myself as a group kind of person, and so I finally decided to join the group, and that's how I got there. It was probably one of the best decisions I've ever made for myself.
Wow, I'm so glad to hear that. What were your impressions of the group when you first began attending, and what stood out for you that seemed most helpful to you?
So my first impression was that everyone seemed very nice, which is great. That's always a good start. But the thing that really stood out for me is the fact that while you're talking, you can see how well people are listening to you and how interested they are in what you have to say. And I was the kind of person who's like, oh, who's going to be interested in what I have to say? I mean, whatever, it's probably not that important. But I think the women in the group just show such an interest in you and what you're doing and are just so supportive. And that's what really stood out for me. I felt like they really were interested and they wanted to help me get to where I'm trying to go. And I thought that was nice. It was very warm and welcoming. And it was a safe space immediately right off the bat. It was a safe space for me to be myself and, kind of talk about some of the things that I'm struggling with that I want to change.
Okay, that's great. How do you think that the way the group was structured and how it actually went week by week. How do you think that that helped you to be able to identify what your goals were, and how did it help you to begin working toward those goals?
So each week there was a certain thing that we were going to focus on, whether it's like confidence or communication. And the interesting thing is, you don't really know well, for me, I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to work on until I had that structure. And then it was like, oh, well, yeah, that's definitely something that I need help with. But it didn't really come to the surface until um, being in the group. And what was the last part of that question? Sorry.
How do you feel it helped you to move into working on your goals?
Um, I think the structure was a very gentle way of um, getting you to think about your goals and how you want to get there. So, having that conversation with everybody in the group and then going into the breakout rooms to kind of talk a little bit further and get everybody else's story and their experience and how they resolved some of the issues that you probably were dealing with. I think that really helped me focus or really hone in on some of the things that I wanted to work on. I hope that answers your question. I'm sorry.
Definitely. No, that's great. Is there is there any specific situation that you brought up, any goal you wanted to work on that you feel you've been able to make progress on as a result of being part of the group?
Oh yeah. So I'm trying to start my own business and I didn't have the confidence to really get that going and I kept thinking about all of the things that would happen, like all the bad things that could possibly happen and go wrong. And the more I spoke to the women in the group about what it is I'm trying to do and hearing their feedback and their constant injection of support and encouragement and uh, showing me or telling me all of these wonderful things about what I'm doing and about myself that I didn't really see helped me little by little uh, become more confident in taking the next step towards that goal of starting my own business. And the support was huge. It really left a huge imprint on how I approach my business and uh, the thoughts that I have in my mind about it. Like if I think someone in the group had said that rather than thinking about it this way, you can say this, and just turning it into a more positive. So the more that I thought more positively about it with the help of the group, who's constantly injecting positivity and support into me, the more I was able to take steps towards, my goal of starting my own business.
Wow. Can you tell us a little bit about what that business is?
So I create postpartum care kits for new moms. And the biggest piece of that is the mental health piece, wellness, and making sure that new moms feel supported and are equipped with the tools that they need to get through postpartum as comfortably as a new mom can be during postpartum.
Which I'm sure is not an easy journey to go to.
No, it's not.
It sounds like you've had a lot of your own experience with that, which you're bringing to your business, and your ability to share your own experience is probably going to be very meaningful to the people that you're serving.
I think so. Yeah.
How do you think the program has changed your level of confidence?
Um, not just with my business, but with how I view myself. There was one of the last uh, meetings that we had was really powerful in that we had a chance to talk about that one thing that we were struggling with and to hear the feedback from the other women about like these are your great qualities. Like I know you said that this isn't a quality of yours, but in fact you actually do have this quality about you and I see it. And then to hear it from everybody is it's like, yeah, it's true, right? Because It's not just one person. And the fact that these are people who are not, related to you, because you know how sometimes relatives can be a little biased. They're
Mhm.
just, you're the best, you're amazing. These are people who don't know you very well, but see you, like really see you and what you're trying to do. And that just boosted my confidence level. Like, yeah, I am this. And yeah, um, I have the ability to do this, and strangers are supporting me. So I can't be all bad, or this idea can't be all bad. So it really made me think very differently about myself and, um, in a more positive way. And I'm quick to think about the good things that could come out of new experiences versus the bad things because of the group.
I'm so glad to hear that. It's really interesting how sometimes we have a hard time seeing our own strengths, our own abilities, our own great qualities. And it's quite something when you're in the presence of somebody whose opinion, whose feedback, whose impressions you can believe are true when they're reflecting back to you all the good things they see in you. It's such a wonderful experience having other people do that. And that's one of the reasons why I created this program, the larger program called the Women's Empowerment Incubator. And we've been talking about resilience and confidence and communication skills and how all of those are interconnected. And so when we have people that can look at us and see the potential in us and see our gifts and then reflect it back to us, it's really quite an amazing experience, isn't it?
Absolutely. And it's just that being constantly, because we meet every week, so being constantly around that, like having, like feeding your spirit that kind of energy is something that I realized that I needed, especially with everything going on, like with the pandemic and all of that stuff, and you just hear all these negative things. To have that on a consistent basis, it's like almost hitting the reset button every week. Like, nope, nope, this is the stuff that we really need right now. I know everything else is going on, but here are all these good things that you can focus on. That was really essential for me.
I'm especially glad that you shared that because having gone through this most difficult past year in the pandemic, many people have struggled to find ways to connect in a meaningful way and find ways to use their time in a way that's uplifting and that's not just killing time but meaningful. And it sounds like being part of the group really made that time very meaningful for you.
Absolutely.
I just want to say, having been there myself, that you offered so many positive things to everyone else in the group, and that people, you heard this, but I'm going to say it anyway. People found you to be such a great inspiration and absolutely loved what you had to share, and found that they were able to make shifts in their perception in the way they thought about things because of what you had said. So it was a two-way street. It wasn't,
Yeah.
that you were just receiving, that you were giving also. And I really want to emphasize that the purpose of the group is to be in an intimate and a very safe and a loving and a warm environment where there is the opportunity for women to both receive from others the support and the validation and having people really listen and then being able to share those same gifts back in return. What would you say to people who were interested in learning more about this program and thinking about the possibility of becoming part of the Women's Empowerment Incubator?
I think that it's something you should strongly consider. And even if you're afraid because you're not a group person like I was, I'm so used to doing things, by myself or tackling projects by myself. I think it's worth it because it's a support system that I feel is essential to your own mental health and well-being. Because it's a safe space for you to really, you know, tackle the things that you might have, you know, maybe set aside or said, I'll maybe look at it later, or you just are afraid to do, but you know you have to do it. It's a very safe, judgment free space. And you're around like minded people who basically want to do the same thing, you know, tackle those things that those insecurities, those confidence issues, whatever it is, you know. And I really felt like we were kind of in it together. You know, we're all going through a pandemic. We're all trying to find ways to make our lives a little bit better by changing certain things about ourselves. And just being around other people who are trying to do, you know, what you're trying to do is great. It's comforting. So I think you should go for it. Like, definitely. It'll change your life. I'm probably the happiest I've ever been. And I'm not just saying that, but just like it's definitely made me a more confident person. It's made me more secure in myself. And I can't remember, I don't know how long I've been part of the group. It's been a while, but and just being around, and then, you know, just being around these women who are just awesome women who are coming from different walks of life and have so many experiences, like different experiences from yours. It's just so nice. And just being connected, it's such a great feeling, honestly, Joan. It really is.
Thank you very much. I'm so glad that that was and that has been your experience. So, if you're a woman who's interested in finding a way to connect in a meaningful way with warm, friendly, caring, interested people who are welcoming, who want to know who you are, who are interested in being of support to you, empowering you, uplifting you, and encouraging you to go for your goals and really make positive changes in your life, whether it's personally, whether it's based on your own sense of who you are, whether it's a goal for something special in your business, if you are in business, or if you're looking to make a change on a job. Women's Empowerment Group has a place for you where you can be part of this really dynamic and very caring group of women who are there to both give and receive support and help one another transform their lives. If you'd like more information about the Women's Empowerment Incubator, I'd be happy to have a conversation with you, a free consultation to talk with you about it. You're welcome to get in touch with me if you are interested at info@youramazingjourney.com. That's info@youramazingjourney.com. And at some point within the next month, I am planning to set up an open house where some of the women that have been part of the group will be available. We'll have a gathering and probably have a conversation about confidence and communication and um, ways to help support one another, and you will be invited and included to join us. If you get in touch with me, I'll be happy to include you in that conversation. I'd like to thank you so much, Ayanna, for your time. Really appreciate your being here. And I'm so delighted to see you continuing to grow and to become more of who you were meant to be. And I can't wait to see what happens for you, good things happen for you in the future.
Thank you. It's nice to be here with you too, Joan.
Thank you. If you'd like any further information about the programs and services I offer, you're welcome to go to my website, www.youramazingjourney. That's www.youramazingjourney.com. I'm Joan Stensler, communication specialist and empowerment coach, thanking you for your time today. Be well, take care, and have a wonderful day. Bye bye.